Hello everyone and welcome back to Charlie Talks Football. So today me and my dad have just finished watching the game and we're reacting to Southampton versus Newcastle in the first leg of the Carabao Cup semi-final. It finishes Southampton 0, Newcastle 1, and it was a crazy game. We've got a lot of things to talk about, so let's get into this. So, firstly, I thought Newcastle dominated the game. We were in control. We had a lot of chances to win. We did win, but in the first half, we had a lot of chances to score, which we didn't take. They didn't really cause us many threats. But then in the first half, we had a goal disallowed, which I think it should have been a goal. On the VAR, I think it was shown a completely different angle, and I think even some of the pundits who were on agreed that it should have been
It was
a
clear goal. I mean, I can understand why the ref disallowed it, but VAR should have helped him out and said it's hit his body, it hasn't hit his arm. Go and look at it, go and review it, and it would have been a goal. But thankfully, we still went on to win the game.
Yeah, so luckily for us, we did win the game, because if we didn't, I would have been angry. But like I said, I think we were wasteful with our chances again. We were also giving the ball away too many times. Overall, it was a decent performance, but, we've just got to improve in the final third. Willock missed a chance in the first half where he blazed it over the bar. Isaac had a good chance as well that he missed. It hit the side netting. Who else?
I think as well in the first half, Wilson was on his heels a little bit. I don't know if he looks fully fit. There was a cross by Longstaff, and he if it was Isaac, I think he would have went in and scored, and normally Wilson probably would have. But
Willock had a good chance as well. He missed.
Wilson's touches weren't great in that, so I was thinking, we really need to get Isaac on, and we need to get Maxi on, which he did. And when he brought them on, the game was a lot more open, so had more space to move in. But Isaac for the goal, I mean, he turns the player and he's paced down the line, and then have the composure to pick Joe Linton out. And so happy for Joe Linton to get his goal after having that one ruled out. Armstrong, ex-Newcastle player, scoring and running off and celebrating. I didn't think you'd celebrate like that.
I think he was cusping his ears, going sort of, why have you let me go? I think that's what he was sort of trying to say. But it was the right decision. I think any Southampton fan would agree with us. You could clearly see it hit his arm. Clearly, you could say it was accidental, but I think now with the rules, it definitely wasn't a goal and was the right decision, because you could say it was accidental, but for the rules now, you've got to rule that out.
If I was Nathan Jones, the Southampton manager, and Southampton fans, I'd be disappointed and I'd be saying it should stand, because it hits his body and then it hits his arm. It's accidental. But it hits his arm. It was accidental. Then it comes off his thigh and goes in. So the arm does help.
For me, it's the right decision.
I think it was the right decision, but I still would have been gutted if I was a Southampton fan, because it could have gone either way, that one. But whereas the Joe Linton one was a clear goal.
Now, I just want to talk about Maxi now. He hasn't been playing a lot recently, and he came on, and from the minute he came on, he changed the game. He cuts inside. Howe sort of brought him on at a perfect point in the game, because, Southampton, their players were starting to get tired, and this really benefits Maxi because he can cut inside. He had a fantastic chance where he kept running, goes past one, goes past two, and then he gets tackled, and he really made an impact.
He did.
So I really hope we don't get rid of him, because there's been a lot of rumours going around saying, we're looking to sell him. Has he had a fallout with Eddie Howe? And him and Isaac really saved the game for us and instantly, made a difference. And taking it to the second leg at St James's Park, we should be able to get through now, because, Southampton, they sort of really needed to get something out of that game, and we'll take it to the second leg and get the win as well. So I think we will get to the final, but I do worry we've just got to be a bit more clinical with our chances. Longstaff as well. I mean, some of the stuff he does at times is good, but then sometimes, he blasts one over.
Doesn't he? I
think there is quite a few players in that squad who do need to improve their finishing. Now, when who was that player called who got sent off?
Kaleta Carr, is it?
Croatian Murphy was brought on, and he basically said bye-bye and waved his hand as he was walking off. Now, I found that funny. So there was a point in the game where I think it was the tackle on Maxi. Well, no, it was a tackle on Bruno, and Maxi stood up for Bruno and barged himself into a Southampton player. So the players were showing passion, which was always nice to see.
It was. I think what was good, because sometimes these first legs of two legs affairs are really, the managers approach them really cautiously, and whereas I think these two, Nathan Jones and Eddie Howe, both went out to win the game. It was quite an open game. There was lots of chances. It was end-to-end. So from a fans and neutral point of view, it was really good to watch. But I think what was interesting when Maxi came on and Isaac, there was loads of space for them. And Isaac didn't really play as a centre forward. He was on the left, he was on the right, he was coming deep. He gave them loads of problems with his movement because he keeps the ball so close to his feet, and he can accelerate off really quickly with the ball. He's got great balance. So you can go one way and send the defender that way, and then quickly accelerate away with the ball. So that was really exciting to see. And, they've staked a claim now to start games because they were really impressive, weren't they?
Yeah, now for me, our best player on the pitch today was Bruno. I think he was literally everywhere.
He was excellent,
constantly covering the balls, getting tackles in. Obviously, he's got that passion. I really hope he does stay at Newcastle for as long as possible because, I think he was our best player out there. Again, you can't take the credit for Pope, though, because he was brilliant again, made a brilliant save.
When it was 0-0.
What a goalkeeper he is. I mean, there was like a couple of minutes where Southampton, they kept firing shots on goal, and he made 2 or 3 quick fire saves. And we've been saying this all season, really. He saves us so many points, and what a fantastic signing, he is. And there really will be a debate. I think he should be England's number 1 goalkeeper ahead of Pickford.
And what do I say in most videos? Another clean sheet. Newcastle United, another clean sheet.
I mean, Botman
they had had chances to score. I think there was a shot by Jay Adams came on and he saved it with his legs.
He should have done better, really.
But Pope made some really good saves again. He's just top drawers, and he made
Joe
such
Linton
a difference.
did well at holding up the ball and cutting inside. I thought he did quite well.
But at times in the game, we did give the ball away too easily. We were doing stupid passes, but there was some parts of the play as well where, Trippier and Miggy, they understand the passing, overlapping,
Lincoln
the way to
play,
pass, the time of pass.
It just was one pass where Almiron just linked it up to Trippier and he put a cross in first time, and Willock was just unlucky not to get a header on. I think maybe it was such a good ball, he struggled to get a header on it, but there's such a togetherness in the team. The players really look like they've been playing with each other for years. And, Southampton will be really disappointed that they didn't get something out of it. And they went down to 10 men as well. It was
it was his second
red
yellow card.
He was on a second yellow. But I think the VAR there was a bit questionable in the game for both teams, really. Could have, on another day, could have been, a lot more goals than it was. but I think there was some right decisions from VAR, and there was also some wrong decisions. And like my dad said before, this really I really believe that the next game, Maxi and Isaac should start the game from the start, because they really do make a difference. Now, I know Isaac's been recovering from an injury, but, you know, if he can come on, if he's on the bench, I'm sure he's fine now. Now, I do think we need more signings. The club
I was just going to come on to that, yeah.
Currently actively trying to sign players. Gordon, we are in talks to sign him. Keith Downey said that's very likely to happen. He says we could offer £25 million plus £15 million in add-ons, but apparently Everton want 40 million, which for me is far too much. I know he had a good season last season, but he hasn't had a good season now. And I would like you to comment down below, do you want him? Because I think if Eddie Howe likes him, go for him, because to be honest, I'm not really sure on him.
Yeah, we're not sure
on
him.
He has a bit of an attitude.
Yeah, I think
had a good season,
I trust
as well.
Steve Nixon, the scouts, doing a great job. Ashworth, totally trust him in House. So if they think it's the right thing to do for the club, fair enough. We've got concerns about his attitude, and he
hasn't had a great season,
and he's it's a lot of money, but I trust them, so if they think it's right to bring in. But
for Franta as well, we had a bid rejected of 16 million a few days ago. Talks still aren't going for him, so it'll be interesting to see what transfer developments we make. But we're not going for a striker. It seems to be more wingers, because it seems like, you know, we need more squad depth.
It's a bit like what Man City have done. So last year, we needed to bring Wood in because we were struggling in relegation. We needed a focal point, which House said, someone to hold the ball up and bring other players in. And now House said we need a different type of player. So it looks like we're not going for a forward. We're going for the likes of Gordon, who's fast and direct and can play on the wing. And also another player who we're interested in and have been linked to, and this could be someone we might sign, is Hakim Ziyech from Chelsea. So he is the Moroccan player, and he's very much like Riyad Mahrez. He's not as good as him, but he's a very good player. So it looks like
injuries
we're looking
have
for wingers.
him a bit.
Yeah, but it looks like we're not looking for
midfielder. We haven't really been linked. So do I think? We're not looking for a midfielder.
Declan Rice would be perfect for us. Obviously, we're not going to get Jude Bellingham, but Declan Rice would be excellent for. But whether I don't think that will happen, but. You know, it looks like there's a change in approach to the player we're bringing in. We're not going to go for an out-and-out centre forward. It doesn't look like that. It's going to be like a couple of wingers who can create things. So that's
I do think though that we do need more squad depth, because we're currently still in a Champions League place, and you know, this came today. I know we won the game, but if we didn't have Isaac and Maxi on the bench, I think it just would have been 0-0. So I think we do need more players for the squads. Work on finishing and training.
Definitely,
because that's certainly something we really need to improve on. The Crystal Palace game, we dominated, didn't take our chances. It seems to be sort of a very similar pattern, not just in Premier League games, but in cup games as well, where we're dominating teams, which is fantastic, but we're not taking our chances, and that's where someone like Isaac, if he started, or Maxi, could change the game for us. So a good result, go back to St James's Park. I would just take a draw, but hopefully for our entertainment we can get a couple. Hopefully we can take our chances better. It'll be interesting to see what happens with Gordon. Things seem to be really picking up the pace with him. And he also missed Everton's training. Now, is this because of Newcastle's interest in him? I think it is, because as far as I know, he hasn't picked up any injuries. So it's going to be very interesting to see. I want you to comment down below. Who do you think we need to sign? Do you think we need to improve on our finishing? Because I certainly think we do. again, I just want to touch on Willock, because I think he has improved so much over Eddie Howe. You know, when he first came in on his loan spell, he did brilliant. He was really, really good, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then, you know, that caused us to sign him permanently. And, you know, sometimes he does get criticism from the fans for not really doing much, but he seems to... Over the last couple of games, he seems to be driving at players,
that's his
cutting
strength,
inside.
isn't it?
He seems to... It just shows that Eddie Howe is really starting to develop the players. And also, I just want to say best luck to Chris Wood. He's currently on loan at Forest. Best of luck to him. Hopefully, he does well there. So, anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe and hit that like button and turn on the notification bell if you like the video. Let's hope that Newcastle can also win in the second leg and get through to what would be the first final in years, which would be such a fantastic game. So, guys, hope you enjoyed this video today. Take care. Bye.